What's up, guys? Welcome to the What a Deck profile for the Kaijudles. Part Kaiju, part Graydle, all annoying. Just going to go through the deck list real quick and show you what we're working with, and then I'll explain if everything's role in the deck. We got 3 Degoran, Mad Flame Kaiju, 3 Kamungus, the Sticky String Kaiju, 2 Gradle Slime, 3 Silent Wabi, 3 Gradle Eagle, 3 Gradle Cobra, 3 Gradle Alligator, 3 Effect Veiler, and then for spells, we've got 3 Surface, 2 Salvage, 3 Gradle Impact, 3 Supply Squad. Traps, we've got 3 Gradle Split, and 3 Gradle Parasite. For the extra deck, we have Giganticastle, 2 Gradle Dragons, Scrap Dragon, Blood Mesfit, Stardust Dragon, Stardust Spark Dragon, Clearwing Synchro Dragon, Black Rose Dragon, 2 Great Old One Hastur, Armory Arm, Leviathan Dragon, Alucard, and Zenmaines. And so the side deck is mostly just alternate options or different things to think about and try with this deck, not necessarily the actual side deck, so I'll go over that later. As for how the deck actually works, if you're unfamiliar with Graydles, Eagle, Cobra, and Alligator all have the same effect that if they're destroyed by battle, you can target one monster on your opponent's side of the field, and equip this to that monster, and you take control of that monster. So this deck is all about stealing your opponent's monsters. The one thing that kind of makes it suck is that maybe your opponent doesn't have a lot of really strong monsters, or maybe they have a really, really strong monster that can negate effects or can't be targeted or something like that. So that's why we play the Kaijus. The Kaijus, you can tribute your opponent's monsters to special summon them to their side of the field, and then if they have a Kaiju, you can special summon your own Kaiju. So if you just have Kaijus, you can special summon the weaker of the two, and then give yourself the stronger. If you have a Kaiju and a Graydle, you can tribute their monster, attack it with your Graydle, and then take the monster back to your side of the field. Gets over a lot of stuff like Cyber Infinity Dragon, stuff that can't be targeted or can't be, that can negate effects and stuff like that. And this deck also has some synchro potential. Gradle Slime is a level 5 tuner, and you can special summon him by destroying 2 Graydle cards on your side of the field, and when he's special summoned, you get 1 Graydle from your graveyard. So him plus any of the level 3 Graydles will give you any of these level 8 monsters. When most of the time you'll want to go for Gradle Dragon, but I'll explain him in a moment. We're also playing Silent Wabi. He's also special summoned to your opponent's side of the field. Really, he's just here to fuck over Psyframes. They're really popular at the moment, and this was the one, like, tech card that really screws them over. All the Psyframe effects, they have to have a monster on they can't have a monster on their side of the field. So throwing Silent Wabi over there, and then being able to tribute it for one of these two, or just put it over there so you can make a push for game, or play your spells and traps without having them be negated. Just a very tricky card. Also, if you don't have anything, because this makes the controller of this card's hand limit is 3, all their drawing is for naught. So you can put this on their side of the field and stall, and they won't be able to keep a hand up. But in most cases, you'd probably want to just remove these. I didn't actually go up against any Psyframes when I did the What a Deck this week, so yeah, maybe they're not as prevalent as I thought, at least during testing. As for these 3, I already explained the battle effect. In addition, they all have one unique point, where they can also take control of a monster if they're destroyed by, in Eagle's case, a monster effect, a trap card, or a spell card. They're nice color-coded. So they get synergy with different things. Gradle Eagle, if he's destroyed by a monster effect, which means Gradle Slime will trigger his effect, so you can synchro and steal a monster. Gradle Cobra has synergy with Gradle Split. The trap will give any monster you control 500 attack, which is good just for making these really strong. But you can also, during your main phase, destroy the monster that it's equipped to and summon 2 Graydles from your deck. So, once again, you can use that to get Cobra's effect, and then summon Slime and one of these other ones, and then go for a level 8 Synchro. And then Gradle Alligator goes with your Searcher, Gradle Impact, this continuous spell. Once per turn, you can either destroy 1 Graydle you control and 1 card your opponent controls, or during the end phase, add a Graydle to your hand. So if you go first, or if they don't have anything, or you don't have Gradle Alligator, you can just search. If you do have Alligator, you can, again, pop Alligator, steal a monster, and destroy something of theirs. Sorry about that. But yeah, so Gradle Impact works with him. Effect Veiler is just, you want effect negation in this. It's the one thing that can screw you over. There's a lot of effects that can mess with your Gradle's ability to go off. And I found Effect Veiler worked best just because it's a tuner. So you can match it with these, or the level 4s, or even... Kumungus is a level 7, so you can make more level 8s. Or you can make Hastur with the Gradle in this, and Hastur has essentially the same effect as a Gradle. You can take control of a monster when this leaves the field. Plus it has 2300 attack, so it's basically a super Gradle. As for our other support, Surface just lets you summon a level 3 or lower Aqua-type monster, which all the Gradles, all these are Aqua. So it's just summon a Gradle back. Sometimes you need 2. Helps with Slime's effect and a couple other things. Good to have a defensive wall. Salvage, of course, will let you get any of your Gradle back as well as Silent Wobby and and Gradle Slime. Any of these back. I already explained Gradle Impact. Supply Unit, because all your monsters get destroyed by battle to activate their effect. Supply Squad is just amazing. You're just drawing a card and taking their monster, so it really helps to offset some of the minus you're getting by summoning to their side of the field and then taking. Split I already got. And then Gradle Parasite is, if your opponent declares a direct attack, you can summon a Gradle from your deck. Good defensive card. If you're playing on a more fast meta, this is probably what you'd want to get rid of. Just because anything that has like MST, or in the case of Psyframes, they have that card that lets them banish a card on the field. This is not going to be nearly as useful. It saved my skin a bunch of times, but I'm sure you could make something better than this. And as for the extra deck, most of it's like, Gigantic Castle is pretty much, if you have Dorgan and Effect Veiler, there's your level 9. Or alternatively, or what was it, 6 plus 4? I think that's 9. I'm terrible at math. No, that's 10. Whatever. You can make 9 one time. It's late. I'm not sure if you can tell. Gradle Dragon, of course, is your main one. He can pop 2 cards on the field, so you can blow up spell traps, other annoying stuff like that. And when he's destroyed, you can summon a water monster from your graveyard. So if they destroy him, you can get your Gradle back. If you get 2 of these out, then you can cycle them, where if one's destroyed, you can summon another one, and then just keep cycling through them until they destroy both of them at the same time or something. Scrap Dragon, obviously. If you run out of Gradle Dragons, or if you have, you just happen to have an eagle on the field, because you can destroy your eagle to get its effect and destroy something else. Blood Mesfit I've never used, but he's a good, if you need to deal that extra burn damage. He's essentially like Gaga Cowboy, but in level 8 synchro form. Stardust, classic of course, if you need defense. Stardust Spark Dragon, probably even better. And then we got a couple 7s. This is basically, why did I have 7s in here? Oh yeah, if I get two Gradles and an Effect Veiler, which is not too difficult. I've summoned them once or twice, but not very often. You could probably just go with Black Rose just in case. I don't think you really need Clear Winged Synchro. This deck doesn't really synchro as much anyway. Honestly, it'd probably just be good with 3 Gradle Dragons. The rest is just sort of just in case. Likewise, Old Hastur, made once or twice, not particularly great. Most of the time you just want to attack with your Gradles, but it's good to have the option. Same with Armory Arm. And then, I've made Zenmains a couple times. Alucard's kind of nice. You do get 2 Gradles, especially with Surface, and a couple other, Gradle Slime, you can potentially go in for an Ixie play. Most of the time you'd rather Synchro, though. As for the side deck, we got Tragodia. Just another alternative if you wanted to take out the Kaijus, because this deck's main flaw is you get attacked directly a lot if they blow up your monster beforehand. If you set an eagle and then they Raigeki it. This deck relies a lot on normal summons. It doesn't special summon that much, so having Tragodia there can be really useful. Some people run a 3rd Slime. I was running 3rd Slime for a while with Abyss Spike, because you can discard Slime to the graveyard to add one of your Gradles from your deck to your hand, And Slime can use his effect from the graveyard, so it doesn't matter where he's at. Oh yeah, the Yosenjus are just here because there's a neat combo with Kaijus and Yosenjus. Not really Graydles so much, but kind of a similar thing where you summon the Kaiju to their side of the field, and then you can summon out your Yosenjus that send a card on their side of the field back to the hand. So you just send your Kaiju back, and then you can reuse its effect. Very useful. Creature swap, I thought would be more useful, and it ended up not really being that way. I mean, of course, you can use it to get your Kaijus back if you want a more Kaiju-centric deck, or even with the Yosenjus again, they come back to the hand anyway. But the Graydles have to be on your side of the field to work, so creature swap doesn't work. It wouldn't be a Stealing Monsters deck without this. I did play Kaijudle Waterfront for a while with Terraforming, just to speed the deck up. This lets you grab a Kaiju monster. You have to have 3 counters on it, but it gets a counter every time something's sent to the graveyard, so you're getting counters out the wazoo with all these Graydles. But unfortunately, the counters also give the Kaijus powers, and your opponents can use the powers. So I didn't really want to do that. Mystical Space Typhoon, just because you need more anti-spell trap. While we're talking about anti-Psy-frame stuff, Ojama Trio probably does the same function as Silent Wabi, maybe even a little better now that I'm thinking about it. But I just didn't want to run more traps. They can't respond to this because it's an inherent summon, or a built-in summon rather. This they can still negate if they have the Psy-frame that negates traps. Alternatively, if you don't want to do more synchros, you can get rid of Effect Veiler and put Breakthrough Skill or Fiendish. It'd probably work just as well. I ran Breakthrough for a while that worked really well. I just wanted more synchro options, so I threw in Effect Veiler. And then finally, Spirit Barrier. If you're running pure Graydles, because you have to attack, a lot of times once they realize what's going on, your opponent won't attack your monsters. You'll have to attack into them, which will deal more damage to you. But if you have Spirit Barrier, you take no battle damage while you control a Graydle, or while you control a monster. So all your Graydles can attack without worry. You won't take any damage, and then you'll be able to steal the monster. So there's the Kaijudle deck. If you want to see it in action, I've got the What deck both on the end slate and in the description. Otherwise, I'll be back next week with another What deck profile. Until then, good luck, have fun, have fun.